So, my name is Brent Hawks, and I'm the Executive Director of Rainbow Faith and Freedom, and I'm John's husband. We just celebrated 41 years together, and a few videos ago, we shared some information with you.
In September of last year, Brent noticed a spot on my back and urged me to go and see our general practitioner. I did. Our doctor sent me to a dermatologist to have a look at it, and the dermatologist determined that I should have a biopsy. I had that biopsy in December and thought I'd probably be in the clear. But the first day back from Christmas holidays, I got a phone call from the dermatology clinic, and I knew that it wasn't anything good. And the biopsy came back with the diagnosis of melanoma in situ, which means skin cancer that has not spread but has just stayed on the surface of the skin. So I was very lucky that it was caught that early due to being in a relationship and having someone taking care of me, and to the medical people here in Canada.
So when you first got that diagnosis, even though they said it was localized, it wasn't until they did more work that they were able to make sure that they got all the cancer.
What they did is they had me back in early February, the fastest appointment they really could do, to have some skin excised. So they took about, a 1-inch radius around where the mole had been. And I've got about a 2-inch scar on my back. And they sent that off for biopsy to see if there was anything further in that area, and there wasn't. So the great news is that I'm cancer-free, and I'm going to be very sun-sensible from now on. I already had been, but I will be more so.
And part of this because is your dad had melanoma for decades, right? And lived to be the ripe old age of 97.
But he had a 25-year fight with this. And I recognize that I got off very light and that I'm very fortunate. There are many other people who have had terrible diagnoses.
So you got the call and it was good news.
I had an appointment to get the stitches out in late February, and I arranged to have the stitches out with my doctor, and he was able to look up the information that had come back, and indeed it was cancer-free. So of course, when I learned that I was cancer-free, I called Brent immediately, and he was very happy of it, of course. Mm-hmm. And the next day I had arranged for an appointment with the dermatologist for her to take a look over my skin to find out if there were any other cancers. And that was clear.
So that was sort of the second major relief.
Yes, that there wasn't anything else to have to worry about. Also, being worried about Brent, I asked him to go and see our family doctor.
And there was probably a couple of reasons why you were worried. John, who has always been relatively careful about the sun, is the one that gets melanoma. I love tanning, both out in the sun and the machine kind. And I have a skin condition which it helps with, so that is also there. And so John has always been worried about how much time I spend in the sun, and so I guess this made him hypervigilant that he wanted me to get checked.
Yes, well, because of a slight bit of psoriasis that you do have, you must take sun. An interesting departure from the usual dermatological advice.
And again, we're not doctors, we're just reiterating information that was given to us and stuff. So anyway, so for a variety of reasons, John insisted that I go in and get checked, and I did, and my doctor was very, very careful and looking over different little spots and areas and said there was really nothing there of a concern. So that was a huge relief for us, and we know how fortunate we are in all of this. And so we just really encourage people to get checked and encourage people to take a look at their own bodies, and, if you have friends or family or partners, to keep an eye on each other, and when in doubt, check it out.
And also, be sun sensible. Wear sunscreen, wear a sun hat, wear something light and perhaps long sleeve to shade yourself from the possibility of getting skin cancer.
So as relieved as we are, and as fortunate as we are, we know we have friends who have melanoma and it wasn't caught. And so they are having to undergo much stronger treatments. So take precautions, as John said, and help each other, support each other, keep an eye on each other, and don't be shy about raising the issue. There was a recent account in the news of at a sports game, someone in the stands noted one of the coaches had a thing on his neck, and she told him about it, and he got checked and it was cancer. And so she might have saved his life. And who knows where this might have gone if we hadn't noticed. And John was able to get the medical care with our medical system in Canada that we're very, very thankful for. I have a pacemaker, and it wouldn't have been possible for many people to get the kind of treatment they need, whether it's for cancer or for a pacemaker or whatever, without the kind of medical system we have. So we're very fortunate in this case, very fortunate in Canada, but we also know that there are many folks who it didn't come out quite that way, right?
Yes, I'm thinking of the brother of a friend of mine whose cancer did start on the back, and that brother is no longer with us. So skin cancer is very real, but the good news is there are many steps you can take to prevent it
or lessen the chances of it, at least, right? If not
yes,
prevent.
Cancer can be beaten.
So we wanted to share with you both the good news about John's journey and what's happened, but also to, again, raise the importance of keeping an eye on things. And as I said, when in doubt, check it out. But we are very, very, very thankful. We've been together for 41 years, and we expect many, many more decades together. John's mom and dad both lived to 97, so he's got good genes.
So much for the insurance you had out on me.
Yeah, well, yeah. We're very thankful. But the Bible says, rejoice with those who rejoice and weep with those who weep. So at the same time, we can celebrate what's happened with John, that he's now cancer-free, and we also recognize that that's not the case for many people. And so let's do our best to care for ourselves and to care for each other. Thank you.
Thank you.